This week we are filling you in on the newly elected members of the Student Government Association. All that and more on Rider right now. Hey Rider, I'm your host Kelly Dixon. Before we give you the details on the election winners, let's take a look back at the outgoing president and vice president of the SGA. As their term comes to a close, Jonathan Chabra and Brian Pawelko took a look back with us over their year as SGA leaders.
I guess my favorite part was running Senate every Tuesday morning, getting to sit in that room. Or I guess stand in that room. It was a change for me from sitting in the back row, and getting to hear the desires of the students and getting to preside over the wonderful institution that is the SGA Student Senate.
I'll miss not being a part of the decision-making process, not being there to influence my decision or my feelings over a decision that's going to be made.
My proudest accomplishment is really everything that we did, the way that we handled all the issues. I think that student government this year operated with a level of professionalism, operated with a level of caring, and I'm just really proud of the record that we have from this year.
I'd have to say the Safe Ride program. It started off as something small. We didn't know if we'd be able to get it working as a great program, but slowly but surely it took off. Usership picked up. We increased the money into the fund, started making some guidelines to cut down on abuse.
My advice to Scott is to listen a lot. Listen a lot to students, listen to the senators, to listen to advisors, and just to, a lot of times there seems to be a lot of hype around stuff. And to really just be cautious and to listen and to take in as much advice as possible.
Having a master plan for SGA, a vision. Each of us came into the role with a vision. I know at least I did. My advice would be to sit down and think about, well, where do you want to take the organization? What is SGA all about? And keeping all this in mind, how can I plan out a timeline that hopefully will help me reach those goals?
Another piece of advice I have for them is to not only fight the fires, not only tackle the immediate issues, but look a little bit long term. Set an agenda, take up some new issues, and set some new stuff.
I think it's about time there's a formal assessment of the alcohol policy. It was one of the big things that I had wanted to do. Of course, some things came up along the way, and we didn't quite get the opportunity to do that.
My term as Vice President of Student Government has really been just an honor. It's been an incredible joy to do. Coming out of the Senate, not knowing a whole lot of people and earning the trust of the student body was a tremendous experience.
I would thank the students most of all for giving me the opportunity over the course of 2 years to serve in an executive board position, to elect me as vice president, and then again to say that we think you've done a good job and elect me as president, and I hope that I've had the opportunity to be able to serve them and pay close attention to their needs and interests and really be the chief negotiator between the interest of administration and students to find solutions that benefit both.
It's been one of the hardest things that I've had to do ever, and it's been the most rewarding, absolutely. So I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to do it. I hope that I've really done a good job, and it's been a point of real development for me, single greatest growth point for my character, I think, has been operating as vice president, and something I'll definitely remember forever.
Stay tuned because Brian will be back to give us his secrets of being SGA president. Last week's election resulted in many changes in student government. Olivia Hoff has the scoop on the newly elected officers.
The Student Government Association's elections took place here at the SRC last week, and the results are in. Our new SGA president will be Frank Romano.
It can be nerve-wracking when one leader steps out of office and a new one steps in. But President-elect Frank Romano seems to be confident that he'll have everything under control.
I am a little nervous. I know that I can do it. I think that I've had 21 years of building up to it, and then I'm finally ready for it. I think that I'll really do the best job that I can. I just really wanted to get involved, and knowing some of the people that were running, I felt like I had just as big a shot, and I could do just as good a job as they did.
Sophomore Amanda Maddox was elected the SGA secretary but was unable to return our calls for an interview. Romano discussed what he hopes to bring to the table in the upcoming school year.
We try to work with the administration to create a plan for the next few years so we have some accountability from year to year in SGA. Try to obviously work on the big parking issues that we have. Something that students can say like, hey, this was done by the 2009-2010 SGA.
For Rider Right Now, I'm Olivia Hoff.
Alex D'Amico and Scott Phillips are the newly appointed Treasurer and Vice President for SGA. I was able to catch up with the two new officers and hear their plans for the upcoming year.
I'd like to take a deeper look at different types of restructuring and areas in the job description where we can refine things a little bit, maybe changing some things with Finance Board, and definitely take a more of a closer look at policy changes and stuff, because it's going to be my familiarity with everything will make it a lot easier to do that.
The first thing that we're actually already planning, is trying to get more people involved in Senate and along with our cabinet. This is the time of year where we recruit new members to SGA. We have a brand new cabinet to work with, so we're putting out flyers for that. We also are working with the education department to try and move some of their education times, their education class times, so that more education majors can be involved in Senate.
There's a pretty big budget for student government. It's about $900,000, and I have to maintain it on QuickBooks, which is what CPAs use. So I'm definitely getting a lot of good experience with that. And I definitely think that it's a good resume builder, and it's going to give me a lot of experience when I go out in the workforce and have to do it for real.
It definitely helps you understand how the campus works in terms of who to contact if you have a problem. And it also helps, especially with those other positions, in that way, that if someone has a question, or if you have a question, you know the people to contact, and you can tell them. It's kind of like a resource kind of thing. So in that aspect, I think SGA has helped me a lot. It also helps with the issues, knowing what the students want, what the students need. That also sort of helps put things in perspective a little bit, where the administration is coming from. So all of that combined really helps with any student on campus, whatever activity they do.
I've definitely learned a lot about making administrative decisions, dealing with people. My organizational skills have definitely been improved a lot. I've had to write tons of emails every day, and I have to organize that and stay on top of that, or else it'll get out of control. So I've definitely gotten a lot of experience.
For Rider Right Now, this has been Kristen Salvatore.
Let's hope they bring some new ideas to Rider's campus. Being a senior class officer is a big task for a student to take on. Kathleen DeFrancesco got to know the newly elected officers.
AZD's Stephanie Premsalar and ZTA's Michelle Molina have recently been elected as Senior Class President and Senior Class Treasurer. I had the opportunity to speak with each new officer about their upcoming positions.
I'm just really excited to get next year started. I was freshman class president when the class of 2010 came in, and I've been in SGA ever since, and I'm really excited just to get the camaraderie back together, kind of go out with a bang, and I'm really excited for an awesome senior year.
I spoke with Michelle Molina during ZTA's Pies for Pink charity auction, which brought in over $1,500 for breast cancer awareness and education.
I'm really excited to be treasurer for the second year in a row, and I'm really excited, and I want to make some changes for the senior class.
I've been in Alpha Zeta Delta since fall 2007, and I've been in SGA my entire time here. I'm also a peer mentor, so I do the freshman peer seminars. And
even newly elected SGA President Frank Romano took a pie to the face for charity from Vice Pres Scott Phillips. For Rider Right Now, this has been Kathleen DeFrancesco.
Just as senior class officers were elected, junior class representatives were also announced last week. Lou Romano has more.
Sophomore Gina Grosso was recently elected president of the junior class. She's very involved here on campus. As well as serving as president here at Rider, she was also elected the national vice president for student services for the National Broadcasting Society. Patrick Heaney is a communications major who won the position of vice president for the junior class. He currently serves on the executive board of the Student Entertainment Council. He hopes to work closely with students to bring change to campus. Brianna Solano is an accounting major from Brooklyn and won the position of treasurer. She is excited about working with the other members of SGA. For Rider Right Now, I'm Lou Romano.
Every year creates an opportunity for new students to become involved. Eva Dela Cruz talked to some freshmen who will be the sophomore class leaders next year.
Two of the newest additions to SGA are sophomore class president Jenny McGrace and vice president Nicolette Daughtry.
I wanted to have fun to see what it was like to be a president of sophomore class.
This year I decided when there was an opening in the elections, I decided I might as well take a chance.
Both girls felt the position would be a new experience to take on.
I know college is going to be a lot more demanding as opposed to high school. You just plan like silly dances and stuff. But I mean, I'm willing to take on all the responsibilities they're going to give me, so I'm ready for it.
Well, I wanted the experience of being in charge of something, and our main job is to raise money for our class gift.
Involvement in high school will be the prior experience used to get the job done.
Well, for the first 3 years of my high school, I was secretary of my class, and then my senior year I was president.
Life at Rider is a new environment that keeps them busy.
I get up, I go to class. On Mondays and Fridays, I go to my internship in Trenton at the State Democratic Committee. I go to work 1 day a week here on campus, work at the tutoring center, and with my friends.
And on campus, I'm in the marketing club here, MASA, and I'm also in Delta Phi Epsilon.
University Democrats, I'm a senator for Conover now.
Both have ideas on what changes need to be made for next year.
A lot of problems with communication, and I think we need to change that because I know as a student that I get frustrated when I don't get an answer from someone right away.
But I think we need to step it up a little bit. You know, I think we need to reach out and do a lot more things that aren't so high schoolish. You know, I think I'm ready to bring in more activities for us so that more students are going to be interested in.
This is Eva Dela Cruz reporting for Rider Right Now.
The second week of April marks the time when Rider celebrates its status as a university. Lou Romano has a look at many festivities that took place this University Day.
Tuesday, April 7th was University Day here at Rider. If you happen to go into Daly's, you may have seen some of the many festivities taking place. Daly's was filled to capacity as students, faculty, and alumni took advantage of the free food and fun. Since 1994, Rider has celebrated its official status as a university by providing a day-long celebration on both campuses. During the University Day celebration, pictures of students and faculty were displayed to remind us of Rider's diverse history. The Nancy Gray Award was presented by last year's recipient, Dr. Carol Brown. Grants manager Michael Rutkowski won the award this year after being nominated for the past 4 years. The award honors a member of the faculty or staff who shows campus leadership and service. He said he felt shocked, honored, and humbled as he received the award. Throughout the afternoon, the radio station kept the campus energized by broadcasting live from Daly's. The event was well received as it gave students a chance to meet alumni while eating for free at the same time. For Rider Right Now, I'm Lou Romano.
Now that you know all about this year's SGA winners, I'm going to fill you in on what it takes to be SGA president. Hey Rider, I'm here with Brian Pawelko, the SGA president, and today he's going to teach us how to be SGA president. So, what's your first tip?
Well, the first tip is that despite the fact that you see all the decisions that are being made on the floor of the Senate and how they reach the newspaper, most of the decisions are not actually made on this floor, but are made between John and myself in the nice little back room, smoke-filled cigar, little cigar in our mouth, and that's where we actually make our decisions, but not actually right here on the floor. When you stand up here, you obviously want to frame the issue in at least the way it was presented on the floor, or if you want to throw in a little bit of your own agenda to get senators to go in the way that you've asked them to vote on, that is also okay.
Senators, you will agree with me or I will kick you out of the Senate. Can I say that? Or?
Not bad, actually, that's pretty good. Don't lose your train of thought, because when you stand up here and lose your train of thought, it's not fun. A bunch of people just sitting out there staring at you, wondering, what is he doing?
Okay. I forgot what I was going to say. I guess I'm already not doing a great job. So what's next?
Well, now you have to walk with the stature of SGA president.
Okay, can you show me?
Absolutely. But first, it's important to notice, in addition to the walk, you got to have the certain props. So you need to make sure you have the leather folder here,
Okay.
tucked across your arm, and if you're a coffee drinker, that'll do too in your right hand.
Okay.
So if I had had a coffee,
Okay, I think I can do it. So we have the walk. What comes next?
well, Ryder is such a small campus, obviously, so, you know, we know most of everyone on this campus, and between colleagues and constituents and everyone else, it's not always convenient, you know, when you're running the class to always go up and walk to someone and strike a conversation. So as opposed to having a conversation, you know, the nice thing you usually do is keep a nice safe distance and go with the wave.
No saluting?
No, it's alright. We leave the saluting out. Usually, keep the wave. Every now and then, a few people who like to do that, and then if they choose to do so, give a nice little salute back.
Okay. He said coffee was essential. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this. But for Ryder right now, this has been Madam SGA President. Hey! That's all we have for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Kelly Dixon. See you later, Ryder.